Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sleeper Hole with our no disqualifications on the topics and falls count anywhere. It's been a while.
At least three weeks.
Almost 4, somewhere around there. I'm your host, Priest, as always, and of course with me are my co-hosts. We have Kluge.
Yo.
We have Eric.
Yo.
We still haven't got a nickname for you.
Wish I had a cool nickname.
We gotta figure one out for you eventually.
You used to have Sleazy.
That's true.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we have the analyst, Rob Leach, who's been dying for me to say his name.
We're back, baby. We're back. The analyst, Robert Leach, is here on the Sleeper Hole.
He's got such good enthusiasm. Well, first of all, it's been a while.
Indeed.
So, yes. Good. Well played, because that has not been used for quite a while. But anyway, so yes, it's been a while. We had a lot of crazy things happen internally, as well as just, the holidays are definitely now starting upon us. Mm-hmm. Thanksgiving, all that crazy stuff. Hopefully everybody had a good Thanksgiving. Mine was just kind of comical. I worked till 3:30, somewhere like that, around my work. Then, because it's just my mom and I, we decided, screw it, we're going to go to Bob Evans.
Yeah, we ended up going to
not Bob Evans. Not Bob Evans. Cracker Barrel.
We ended up going to Golden Corral ourselves.
We sat there for over an hour, well, almost an hour, waiting for our food, or waiting for it to get seated, only then to find out that they didn't have any turkey. And they're like, well, we can do our turkey platter, but you can get like chicken strips or extra ham or whatever. And I'm like, I'm cool with that. I'll just do the chicken and dumpling meal. Well, we're out of chicken and dumplings. Okay. I'll do the meatloaf. Let me go check to make sure we have that. She leaves, comes back. We do have the meatloaf. I'll take it. Everybody else gets their order. We're sitting there talking and waiting. She goes, I am so sorry. We actually don't have any meatloaf. I was like, all right. I'll be like the little kid. Just give me chicken strips and barbecue sauce and my sides. And if you don't have the chicken strips, just give me a big platter full of sides. Because, dang, I just can't win for losing today. It was pretty fun, though. We had a good laugh with it. The best part was at the end when the other guys were done eating and they get ready to order their pie. She's like, I am so sorry, but we're out of pumpkin and pecan pie. Well, do you have apple? Let me go check. Comes back. Well, we don't have regular apple. We have sugar-free apple or apple and pecan pie. They're like, we'll skip the pie. That poor girl, she was like she was about to be in tears telling us this news. It's like, it's not your fault.
Sounds like somebody needed to order a bit more than
right.
In anticipation of
Overpurchase.
Did you not plan ahead? Did the truck get lost somewhere in transit to get you your food? Holy cow. But anyway, how was your guys' turkey day?
Mine was fine. I'm just amazed I survived Black Friday shopping.
Yeah, you're crazy fool
on
for
Black
that.
Friday.
Yeah, you're crazy fool for that.
We went and undertook the Walmart Black Friday just because we had to get a few things of our own, and I ended up getting a good deal on WWE 2K19 though.
I also got on the same deal.
I'll say, your wife actually helped me find a good item that was looking to hunt down with the Black Friday deals, so kudos to that.
Which item was that?
I'll tell you later, because in case the person ends up watching this, I don't want to spoil it.
Oh, okay.
Smart.
Anyway.
Oh, my Thanksgiving was pretty good. I had on Thursday, I ate some food with my family at my grandparents' house.
Like you do.
And then Friday, I had more food at my dad's house in Athens.
There you go.
And that's about it.
So you did the smart thing. You avoid the Black Friday deal.
Yeah, I went 20 miles north into a small town where there's no one at because they're all in Springfield Black Friday shopping.
There you go.
Yeah.
See, smart move. Well, so, hopefully, like we said, we all had a pretty good and interesting Black Friday. Hopefully you guys did too, as well as Thanksgiving. But let's get on to the nitty-gritty. Get down to the dirtiness of Raw, because let's face it, Raw has been nothing but dirt lately.
Yeah.
Dang.
Did you hear about the post that was changed on the Wikipedia page for Milwaukee, or what was it, Milwaukee? I thought.
Yeah, it was for the arena for Raw.
Right after the episode of Raw aired from there that was so horrible, somebody changed the actual city's Wikipedia page and put in a note on there that it was the city in which pro wrestling actually died when Raw ran a show.
That's great. That's pretty great. I will like that.
Kudos to whoever put that on Wikipedia.
Yes.
That actually made my night. I really did.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I can't lie. That's pretty good. I mean, there's a few things like with Raw that I've been like, okay, this has been kind of okay. Like, I like the fact that we do have a heel turn with Ambrose, and I like the fact that he did the ultimate cardinal sin, to get as much heat as possible, and he threw out Roman and the cancer. Something that a lot of people are like, you just don't do that. That's just wrong. Yes, it's wrong, but that's why he did it, to get that instant heat, because there's a lot of people who are happy that he became a heel. So I was like, how do we make sure everybody hates him? Bring up the cancer. It was a good move on their part. I will give them credit on that. You also had other things, like this past week we got a little bit of an update on Braun Strowman's condition with his arm.
Shattered elbow.
Yeah, I mean, that was a pretty wild end of 2 weeks ago Raw, and then getting an update this time. So
yeah, it was pretty gnarly.
I mean, but let's be honest. We all know that one way or the other, he's going to show up in TLC, because the whole Corbin bragging about how he's not going to throw away the match and everything else. They're going to do something to bring back Strowman, even if he's a one-armed man well, it'd be a one-legged man back then, but whatever. You all know where I'm going with this.
One-armed
yeah.
He'll be the one-armed bandit. And then we have the whole thing with Drake Maverick. I mean, for those who didn't see Survivor Series, it was not bad. It
wasn't Vince McMahon level of soiling himself.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm saying Survivor Series as a whole was not bad. But the thing that they're doing with this is Drake Maverick got basically held up at the edge of the apron by Big Show, who was on the ground, and then he decided to wet himself out of fear.
I don't know if it was a conscious decision or if it just happened.
He didn't decide to. He accidentally sprung a leak.
I don't know. But still, irregardless, this became a big running gag.
I bet he was pissed.
Oh, I bet he was.
And then, of course, the Raw after that, they have the little comedy segment there in the catering area.
That was great.
Which, in that catering segment, former PWA guest Shauna Reed was in that.
That's
scene.
true. That is very true. But I mean, so we have, Drake Maverick then, when AOP was facing off with the glorious Bobby Roode and, whatever the hell his name is, because I really don't care about him.
Chad Gable.
Yeah.
Gable.
I was waiting for somebody
Angle
to be able
Jr.
to see. Yeah.
Chad.
But, he stole the robe of Bobby Roode and decided to put it in the bathroom, stomp on it inside the toilet, and then urinate all over it. As one person once said to me, is this really how low we're going to go from now on? And the answer is yes.
Mm-hmm. In all fairness, they've gone much lower in the Attitude Era.
True.
But that's what I was about to get. That's what I was got to get at. They're trying to see how far along that edge they can get to be borderline Attitude Era without being Attitude Era, and that's what they're doing.
I mean,
welcome to 2018.
Yeah,
I just hope they don't piss off the sponsors.
Yeah, and they've been getting closer and closer every week with more cuss words. Like, you never heard them once say hell or damn. Now they're saying hell, damn, piss, bitch, every single week.
Yeah.
And they don't care now.
It is what it is, though. I mean, let's be honest. They are trying to see how far they can push away from just being a flat PG era to let's be the bastardized child of the Attitude Era. And that's exactly what this is.
And it's going to be so much worse.
Unfortunately. Now, we also had Ambrose's promo where he was at the doctor, he was getting all those shots and everything else. Got a shot in his hip where he had dropped his drawers a little bit. Whatever. I find it kind of funny because I thought it was kind of interesting how he's trying to make everybody sound like they're disease-ridden and everything else, but we've seen this song and dance before, so it wasn't as good of a promo as it could have been. In my opinion, he did a better thing where he did, like I said, he targeted the cancer. When he targeted something that you knew was gonna rile everyone up no matter where they were watching the show. That's what you need if you want Ambrose to be a true heel.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, and my thing is, I'm sitting here wondering when it comes to that, and I want to bring this up, though. He talked about how Roman's getting his, Seth's going to get his from Dean, and Dean's, I don't know what his penance is going to be. But how far do you think they'll drag this out even after TLC with Seth and Dean? Because this is one feud I don't feel one pay-per-view can finish.
I think they might take it to WrestleMania. maybe if they don't want to drag it out that long, then the only other place I see it ending is the Royal Rumble.
Okay.
Yeah, we still have Rumble coming soon. So
let's be honest, they're gonna milk it for all it's worth, and they're gonna go multiple pay-per-views.
Oh yeah.
Now the question is, am I going to be able to predict both winners this year, like I did last year?
Dude, seriously, you predict Royal Rumble winners again like that? I'm done.
I don't know how predictable it's going to be this year, because last year it was pretty predictable.
Last year I didn't want to admit the fact that you had some good choices, but you had some good choices. Pretty obvious choices too, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. Speaking of the obvious choices, since they are on the SmackDown brand, let's talk about SmackDown, which, in my opinion, is still doing pretty decent, unlike its bigger brother Raw. Shinsuke had his assault on Rusev before their match. A lot of people are saying, why would Shinsuke do this? What is he trying to prove by not competing regularly instead of just doing these little attacks before the bell? He's a heel. Heels attack. Welcome.
Speaking of heels, what about Daniel Bryan's new
I kind of
attitude
like
towards
it.
things?
I kind of like this unhinged Daniel Bryan and kind of not all there type thing going on.
I love it. I love it.
I mean, it's one of those that nobody expected him to turn his back on the fans, but you know what? That's what makes it so good. Is he's just snapped, gone. Talk like cereal, snap, crackle, pop. That's Daniel Bryan's mentality. A lot of these things are about heels. I mean, heels seem to be a big focus right now, especially with things that I've noticed with SmackDown. Like, Samoa Joe did a great job during Hardy's celebration to bring up about all of Hardy's demons that he's had facing the past.
Yeah. They pushed the limit with that one
They
as
did.
far as they could go.
Like I said, again, we're pushing to see how far we can get to that edge of being just like Attitude Era while still having that somewhat PG touch. And this is, like I said, the bastardized child of Attitude Era. And Samoa Joe really did it well there. He did better there than a lot of the crap he did with AJ. That was the type of stuff you need right there. Where immediately you're like, dang, this is heel. It's not creepy uncle next door trying to mess with
Creepy stalker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of like what they did with DDP with Undertaker's wife back in the Attitude Era.
Make me famous! Yeah. God, that was so terrible.
Poor DDP.
Not nearly as terrible as the whole...
DDP Yoga?
No, not DDP Yoga, but the whole Boss Man and Big Show.
Oh, God,
father,
yes!
Dead father angle.
And no offense to DDP Yoga, I've heard a lot of good things about it, but I just had to make some type of jab, just for funs. But yeah, I agree with you. The Boss Man Big Show thing, that was pretty messed up.
Or the Boss Man Al Snow, where Big Show, or not Big Show, Big Boss Man fed Al Snow his Chihuahua.
Yes, I remember that. Oh man, that was messed up. Jeez, the Attitude Era was really messed up, wasn't it? Dang.
Yeah.
The more I sit here and think about these, it's like, no wonder a lot of us need therapy, huh? Look what we were exposed to. We thought it was cool back then.
I'm glad I missed it.
No, you're not.
No,
You're right.
It was a hell of a time to be a wrestling fan.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was.
2 years earlier, and I would have saw all of it.
You back then you had WWE, you had WCW and ECW. ECW was the
ECW.
three pushing the line. I mean the kimono wanted to lay a strip tease while they were fixing the ring.
Yeah.
The dives off of the balcony.
I'll never forget Miss Kitty.
Sable.
Sable with the handprints.
Yep.
I remember.
Well, Miss Kitty went the full Monty that one.
Yeah, she did. She did.
That one night.
I remember ordering those pay-per-views, especially just to get the little free giveaway that they had at the time.
I remember back then, even though they're like, do not record, blah, 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 people would. People would record. And
I recorded it on DVR all the time.
my cousin was recording the one with Sable and the handprints, and he, after that whole thing was over, he rewound and played that and rewound and played that and rewound. Just to see the Sables. That was
and now Brock gets to see those.
yeah.
Yeah, that.
Speaking of people who are in the Attitude Era that are still with SmackDown, Orton's assault on Mysterio keeps getting more and more intense, and it's been one that a lot of people are upset about because of him unmasking Mysterio.
But to go back towards that era again, I mean, a lot of people really from this era wouldn't realize it, but Mysterio wrestled without a mask for quite a while.
He did.
Because he was forced to.
But here's the caveat. Right. He was forced to from Kevin Nash back in WCW. And so, I mean, the fact that he was able to get that authorization from the Luchador committee to be able to wear the mask again, that's why it's such a big thing. Now it's like, oh my gosh, here we go again with him being unmasked. And to technically follow tradition, once you are unmasked, I believe that you're not supposed to put the mask back on.
You're not.
But now I think it's been revised to now where it has to be a mask on the line type match. But back in the day, the second you were unmasked, you were SOL. You're not allowed to put it back on. So it's really kind of interesting to see how much they're digging at this. Where I could almost be certain that before, maybe not before this upcoming pay-per-view, not before TLC, but maybe the one after that, we'll see him put the mask on the line. I don't think he'll lose it, but I'll see him put it on the line.
Let me throw this out there as a scenario. What if it's at WrestleMania? Mask versus hair.
What hair?
Again,
we're talking about Orton.
Orton's hair.
Mask versus career.
That could be it.
Mask versus career.
It's a wonderful idea.
It could work.
I like it.
I'd be happy with that at WrestleMania. I'd be happy with a lot of things, but whether or not I get them is another story.
I think it'd be interesting. I don't know if they would actually. Well, if they did do career, I mean, you could still transfer back over to Raw,
right.
So that would work. But I don't see them actually letting Mysterio even willingly letting go of the mask. But I think it would build a lot of hype for him to put that mask on the line. Like, you keep taking it off, and I'm going to go ahead and put it on the line just to show I'm not afraid of you.
Yeah,
I could see it. Speaking of another person who likes to wear masks, even though not all the time, just at the opening, Asuka actually succeeded to become the next one to face Becky Lynch.
I thought she got added to...
Oh, I thought
it was a triple threat.
Oh,
yeah. Now.
I'm sorry, I misunderstood. I thought it was just...
Yeah, she was added to the triple threat. It's her and Charlotte and Becky.
Ah, okay. Well, that kind of makes it more boring to me. I get tired of triple threats. I mean, are we back in the era of Teddy Long? Holla, holla, holla. Let's get some triple threats and some tag teams and more tag teams. Let's do a triple threat tag team tornado style.
You know what? For that, you get to go one-on-one
with the Undertaker. Oh, Teddy. I know. The funny part is he was one of my favorites. Yeah. He's always been one of my favorites, just because of the fact that he's like, well, let me tell you something, player.
He was one of my favorite GMs. It was a toss-up between him and Mick Foley.
Mick was good, but let's be honest. As much as nobody wants to admit it, everybody had at least 1 or 2 points in her career that they liked when Vicky was in charge.
No, I didn't. The voice. I couldn't get past the voice.
I don't know. I always thought it was great.
My favorite part about Vicky's career as a general manager was when The Rock sang that little song to her on Raw.
Yes! Yes!
I remember watching that live when it happened, and he starts going into the song, and I'm thinking, there is no way he is singing this song word for word. And then, of course, he put the twist on it right where I thought he would.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no. You know, there's... yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting, though, because my only problem is, like I said, I don't care for triple threats so much. I feel like they get overplayed, especially for major cards. But the only good thing about this also is because Asuka now has been shown to be vulnerable. She's not Superwoman anymore. And people are really going over with Becky Lynch being a heel. You've got more favor to Becky Lynch, but a lot of people liked the snapped Charlotte.
Yeah.
And so I really feel like Asuka's kind of up a creek without a paddle on this one. You've got 2 really vicious women. One that's truly snapped, and the other one who's just finally was shown that she's tired of everybody's crap and is going to do whatever she can to keep her belt.
And one who's beaten her before.
Yes.
Well, let's be honest. Asuka's been up the creek without a paddle since WrestleMania. That loss to Charlotte was just wow.
Yeah, it's true. And the thing, see, for me, I was glad she lost because, like I said, I didn't want another Brock Lesnar scenario.
You can only be undefeated for so long.
Exactly, and that's the thing. And that's the thing. I even said this during the show one time. She's undefeated. She's undefeated. She's undefeated. The second she becomes defeated, it's going to be a downward spiral because it always happens that way. And what happened? She started to have a downward spiral. Not drastically heavy, but it's a slow spiral. That she's just not as big as she was.
She got beat, and then they took her off TV for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And she wasn't really seen anywhere. And I think one of her first appearances in a while was actually at the live event here in Springfield.
Yeah. And honestly, the only thing people really get excited about with her anymore is her and Naomi teaming up. It's like that's like the big push they're doing with her. Whereas, I mean, and that could be fine because if they do actually do a women's tag division, there you go. You also got Charlotte and Becky, the two crazed, lack of a better phrase, the crazed bitches. They could be on a team. I mean, there's a lot of things that could happen here, but I feel like it's going to be interesting because they've now also, without having her properly lose a match, they have done the right thing with Ronda because they have shown her vulnerability. The only thing they did wrong, and I'm going to say this till I'm blue in the face, the only thing they did wrong is when they did that whole chair scene with Charlotte, Ronda should not have been able to walk out on her own accord. No. Every other superstar that's had that same exact thing done to them had to be stretchered out.
But then again, if you think about it too, okay, they bill
That's her
her
way of
as
proving that she is
the baddest bitch on the planet.
Well, and I get that. I fully get it. I really do get why. But I'm sitting here going, you have these very powerful, very seasoned superstars on the roster who've had the same thing done to them, and they're coughing up blood and getting escorted on a stretcher, and oh my gosh, now they're going to the hospital and we won't see them for a couple weeks. You're still making her too powerful, too Wonder Woman. You've shown a little bit of vulnerability, but you've got to truly expose some vulnerability so she's believable, and then she'll have even more support.
Well, I mean, there was a video that came out, I think it was over the holiday weekend, and it was Ronda Rousey, and she was talking about how she feels she fails her family by being on the road so much, and I guess she had a pet die while she was on the road, and
that's never
bad.
easy.
Yeah, it felt bad that she wasn't there, and she feels like she's failing her family by not being there and being on the road. So, I mean, I guess that's a way of them, showcasing her...
Some vulnerability, some human side.
Yeah.
I mean, I can get that. I don't know. I feel like when you make somebody too high on a pedestal, the second you do let them finally crumble down, they crumble down too hard, too fast. And if you let them be like... even some of our local talent, I feel this way. They're on a hot streak. Let them lose at least once or twice here or there, or have a big thing happen that knocks them down a peg, just to show them that show people these are still human beings, but this is why we should support them because they are similar to us.
Kind of like in PWA with Truck Thompson.
There you go.
He was on that hot streak, beating everyone. Lander, Moss, winning 6-man tags and everything like that. Come that hardcore match back in February, Lander beat him.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Moss had to help out, but Lander beat him. And Truck got right back up after it.
Yeah. But it still showed his vulnerability, even though he got back up and strong, but it showed some vulnerability. And the thing is, he's had other things that have shown him be, quote-unquote, humanized, to where now the fans are very supportive of him. Because they can relate. That's the big thing about any good character, face, heel, or in a book, hero, villain. If they're relatable in some way, you're going to be more drawn to them. And I think that's one reason why I do like this heel Ambrose. Because some of the things he's been saying, it's like, I can kind of relate to this. I can kind of get behind this. And that's what I'm just worried about when they make these big characters. That, and also they focus so much on these big characters that you get people from NXT that never get a proper push, and then by the time their contract's over, we never hear from them again.
Yep.
Or they just pop up randomly in Japan or Ring of Honor.
Well, I mean, that's a perfect example, okay? I mean, he had a good momentum going for him, but Adam Rose. I was a big Adam Rose fan.
I was too.
I loved the entrance. Yeah, with all the people, I was a big fan of it. And then they basically just had him on a losing streak for a while. To where then they let him try to go heel and attack the bunny, which really wasn't great. I thought that was the baddest angle they could have ever done with him.
Yeah.
Him and the bunny should have been a team, but whatever.
Justin Gabriel and a bunny.
But then next thing we know, there's no more Adam Rose. And what do we have? We have Adam Rose 2.0, No Way Jose. What do you think's going to happen with him?
What's already happening with him?
Exactly.
What happened with him in
exactly.
NXT? He really.
I mean, the biggest excitement.
His career is going to be No Way Jose.
The most excitement I get out of No Way Jose is his entrance when I can look and see like local wrestling stars.
You're like, I know that person.
Like, oh hey, there's Jossie from Proving Ground Pro.
Yeah.
That's about all the excitement I get out of that.
He's just Adam Rose.
They did the same thing with Adam Rose. I mean, Braun Strowman, Alexa Bliss, and a few others.
What I'm talking about is you're bringing in
Yeah.
local guys. You know, I just like to see that all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, and speaking of people who came up from the NXT, let's talk about this real quick with Punishment Martinez debuting and going against Matt Riddle. That was a pretty nice match, in my opinion. It's not phenomenal, but it was pretty nice. I mean, for a debut match, come on.
Yeah. Well, actually, that was at the taping, so they.
Taping debut, but I mean, I try to go with what the world will be able to see.
Oh yeah, it'll be great. I mean, because
spoiler alert, it's too late. But
disregard that; it's all live.
But
everything's building up. And everything's looking great for Punishment Martinez. It really is.
Especially starting out against Riddle. Coming off of shortly before he left Ring of Honor, he was the Ring of Honor television champion. And
I mean, no matter how good of a match it was probably a lot better than TakeOver when Matt Riddle beat Cassius Ohno in like 3 seconds.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
it was still better than the finger poke of doom.
Very
Anything's
true.
better than the finger poke of doom.
That finger poke, good lord. I don't know. I challenge this.
Hogan's easiest victory ever.
I challenge this because I think there's only one thing, in my personal opinion, that's worse than the finger poke of doom, and that's the news that you found out about XFL coming to St. Louis.
That is awesome. I will actually.
I love it. It's like, I hate this. He's like, oh, this is the best.
I will go and support this because I didn't get to go support the Rams because I'm a Bears fan. I couldn't bring myself to do it.
Okay.
I can't go to St. Louis and cheer for the Cardinals because I'm a Cubs fan. I can't do it.
Except for one, they will have to go to a rival game, so I can talk shit to each other the whole game.
Oh, those games are fun.
They're the best.
But the XFL, new league. We're gonna find out next Wednesday or this coming Wednesday, what teams are gonna be announced. But the one that's already leaked out because the local media in St. Louis has already leaked it. They're getting an XFL team and they're going to be playing in the Dome.
Good. At least it's being used for something now,
right?
Something besides dirt racing, which is going on this weekend.
Yeah,
that's where Brian Ely is right now.
and Terry.
I don't know. I have never been a fan of the XFL. I just kind of like, really.
It seems like he's more. He wants to see this succeed. There's no team owners. Vince McMahon owns all the teams.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. It's one of those all you can just go, really? And just let it go from there.
Well, let's just hope history doesn't repeat itself.
I hope not. I do.
Just think, the commentators are going to be not saying football; they'll be saying sports entertainment.
Oh no! From everything I've read of what he's going to do with this XFL, he's totally separating it from WWE. I think that's where he messed up the first time.
Try to put the two together.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, WWE is only a minority owner of this company that they formed for the XFL. Because I think the article I read said that he sold 100 million shares or some extravagant
extravagant number
of shares. He's got shares for days, but I mean,
it's McMahon.
He sold enough shares to fund this project, and I want to support it. It's been a while. St. Louis has been trying to get a football team. I mean, they're already getting a soccer team, which they're building a new stadium for that. But I want to go support the XFL. I want to see it succeed this time.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Anytime we have any updates on the XFL, this will be your guy. And we promise that he will not scream puppies every time.
No, I promise. I
Look at the puppies!
puppies. Yeah, no.
The cute little brown noses.
I forgot that. Oh, Jerry. God, I love that guy.
Look me, man.
Puppies!
Alright, well. Man, I don't know how to transition or segue this one, so I'm just going to go straight to it. Let's talk about the local stuff. Rob, this is you.
All right. Next Saturday, December 8th, PWA will present...
Not this coming Saturday, but
next
the
Saturday,
following
December 8th, PWA will present 'Twas the Fight Before Christmas. Doors open 6:30, showtime 7 o'clock p.m. Adults are $12, kids 6 to 12 are $10, kids 5 and under are always free. It's been a minute since I did that. I had to think about it.
yeah, it's been at least 3 weeks.
Yeah. I don't do it every week. Anyway, so I can tell you we've got a woman making her debut in the women's division. Charlie Cruel will be debuting.
Was at the last show.
Charlie Cruel was not at the
I
last
thought
show.
she was.
No.
Oh, okay.
That was
Remember I made the joke about the king?
that was Sophie King.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I got them mixed up. Sorry.
Because it was the king versus the queen.
Yeah. Okay. I remember.
But no, Charlie Cruel will make her PWA debut against the queen of the indie scene, Harley. And your main event will see former 3-time regional heavyweight champion, a former 2-time Brawltoberfest match winner, K.C. Jackson, take on someone who hasn't really had any accolades in PWA. He's competed in 1 or 2 Toga tournaments. He's had great matches. He defeated Michael Elgin last month, or earlier this month, I should say. Jimmy Carrot will take on K.C. Jackson in the main event. And then, of course, we have more local stuff. December 9th, I'm going to be going down to Mattoon, where we'll see ZeroOne. A lot of fun there. It's going to be great. Also, December 15th, PWA in Jacksonville, Illinois. Don't know any information about that. I think it's 2142 East State Street is the address for that venue. Bogart's Banquet Hall in Jacksonville. Doors 6:30.
Seasons beating.
Showtime 7 o'clock. Show name Seasons Beatings. Adults $12, kids 6 to 12 $10. 5 and under are always free.
And that one has beer
call
available.
I call it too. Don't worry.
Okay. I just want to make sure I wasn't hearing things. I mean, I know I'm getting old.
I didn't mean to. I apologize.
Ding!
Right? We need that bell still.
Anyway.
You know, I was getting old, but dang, my ears are still good.
Then December 16th, I don't know exactly all the details, but we will see Pro Wrestling Force make its Springfield debut at the 8th Street Gym, 1401 North 8th Street in Springfield. I believe showtime's 3 o'clock or 3:30.
So around there.
Main event, first round match in the Pure Championship Tournament. Logan James will take on New Japan Pro Wrestling, I believe, former United States champion Juice Robinson. Former NXT star Juice Robinson as well. And so, you know, it's going to be a lot of fun. We've got a lot of fun coming up for the local indie scene.
Wow, that was a lot faster than I thought you'd be, man. You went boom!
I can pull out more information if you need me to.
Actually, I did see that Pro Wrestling Force did announce a name for their February show. They've announced Joe Doring. He's a former Triple Crown All Japan champion.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
I've heard some rumblings about people they're trying to get, maybe, but I can't release any information there yet. But basically, I'll look at the show for Mattoon real quick. December 9th, of course, at the Burgess Osborne Auditorium in Mattoon. It's a joint show between ZeroOne USA and Proving Ground Pro. We're going to see the Proving Ground Pro Cutting Edge Championship defended. Mike Outlaw, who's fresh off a victory a couple weekends ago against Jake Lander in a ladder match. He will defend the championship against Dirty Jake Durden. We'll also be seeing a feature attraction. Chainsaw King will be taking on Jimmy Jacobs. We will also see a handicap grudge match as the Lowlifes, Jordan Perry and Joey O'Reilly, will take on Jake Lander. We will see Proving Ground Pro Tag Team Championships as Christopher Savage and Donnie Primetime, otherwise known as Savage Dragon, will take on Alpha Omega, which are the team of Camaro Jackson and Kenny Alfonso, the defending champions. Also a 6-man tag team match. Kevin Lee Davidson, Baracus, and Danny Adams will be taking on Nick Brubacher, Jossie, and Kevin Giza. More names that will be appearing: Shank Barzini, Cardini, Oliver Kane, Frank Wyatt, Handsome Dan Liplock's going to be there as well. We'll see a huge battle royal where the winner of that battle royal will actually earn the chance to enter themselves into the battle royal that's going to take place in January for the vacant ZeroOne USA Heavyweight Championship. Christian Rose had to vacate the title due to some health issues that he's been going through as well. So yes, a lot of fun happening for ZeroOne.
That's pretty awesome. So, I mean, yeah, honestly, like he said, there's a lot of things going on local. It's worth checking out if you are from the local area. I guess I should make that more clear. If you're around from the Sangamon County area of Illinois, because, I mean, it's just a lot of things happening. And
we're just willing to make the drive.
Yeah.
Anywhere in central Illinois, really.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, as this keeps going and everything else, I mean, I'm sure we'll eventually have more news and updates for other companies that are outside of our normal range, and definitely make this thing grow and expand. But guys, definitely, if you like wrestling and you want to see some real good talent, come to these local shows, because these guys put their hearts out to the point where they kind of put the professionals being a mark. But no, I mean, when you see who puts really their heart into something, you can tell.
But no, also ZeroOne's got a show coming up, their second show at the Decatur Civic Center on March 30th. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to see, I believe, the first ever ZeroOne USA Steel Cage match as Savannah Stone takes on Reign Victoria. Two well-deserving and well-primed athletes meeting in the ZeroOne Steel Cage. Also, we're going to be seeing Shank Barzini, the Maniac Psycho, take on the Monster Abyss.
I haven't seen Abyss in a while.
And the special feature attraction guest for this show, the Boogeyman, will be appearing at ZeroOne's Decatur Rampage on March 30th. It's going to be so much fun.
Coming to get you.
But yeah, that's basically all coming up.
Yeah, a lot of people are closing the year strong. Shoot.
No kidding. I mean, we've got so much action coming up just in these next 2 weeks. It's going to be so much fun.
I mean, heck, we got 4 weeks ourselves before we close out this season, so we're going to make sure we end it strong, huh?
Yeah.
Even tomorrow, Wrestling for a Cure, doing a fundraiser event at Godfathers on Dirksen. Come out, check us out, support Wrestling for a Cure. I believe, tell them you're there for Wrestling for a Cure, and 10% of your proceeds will go to St. Jude's.
That's awesome.
5 to 8 Godfathers on Dirksen in Springfield.
Yeah.
And I just want to point out, I didn't contact Robin ahead of time and wear the same thing.
This was coincidence.
Pure coincidence.
Yeah, after tomorrow will be more coincidence. Just saying.
Yeah.
So, it'll be awesome. Anything you want to add?
I think you guys pretty much covered everything.
Right? I mean, we kind of flew through this. We covered a lot of things. We got things knocked out where we technically had 20 minutes to burn. And I have no idea what the hell else to talk about. Hell, boys. You kind of made me surprised here. Yeah. Normally I have this thing perfectly mapped out where we're struggling to stay under.
Yeah, we're usually always going over.
Yeah.
Go up.
Right? It's pretty much it. I mean, Guys, I don't think there's anything else we can talk about, so we may have to do a go home.
I don't know.
Indeed.
There you go.
Indeed.
Indubitably.
Indubitably.
See, that's another point back to the Attitude Era. Indeed.
Yeah.
Kai and Tai.
Damn.
Yeah.
Which, man, speaking of
Ladies and
Kai,
gentlemen, enjoy the following 20 minutes of us just shouting Attitude Era catchphrases.
No,
speaking of Kai and Tai, I do have a New Japan update for, well, actually not New Japan, but, Japanese indies. There was a story that just came out recently about Taka Michinoku, Attitude Era star. How he was in an extramarital affair recently. He owns Kai and Tai, the promotion. This is how serious they take that kind of thing there.
Yeah.
They removed him from the board of directors of his own company.
Rather than them threatening to choppy his pee-pee.
Oh, God. To be saved at the last minute by John Wayne Bobbitt.
But yeah, since we were, talking about Attitude Era, and Kai and Tai figured it would be a nice little tie.
That's a good tie-in, yeah.
Yeah, and there was another wrestler accused of the same thing years ago, and he was actually docked pay for a year, so he had to wrestle for free.
That's painful. That is absolutely painful.
Yeah.
It's what you do if you love the business.
Yeah, sure.
Another thing I guess we could bring up is John Cena's being awarded the Muhammad Ali Legacy Award.
Congratulations to Cena.
Cena should be coming back here pretty soon. I know they've got a couple of Raws for Christmas and the New Year. I think I read that on either SmackDown for Christmas or SmackDown for the New Year is going to be John Cena will team with Rey Mysterio to take on Randy Orton and Shinsuke Nakamura.
Interesting.
An interesting twist.
While I was on the Black Friday or Thanksgiving holiday weekend, went and seen Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah.
In the trailers before the movie, I could have swore I seen Braun Strowman in one of the trailers.
Oh,
nice.
Holmes and Watson, that's the name of the movie.
Yes, that's
Will
what
Ferrell,
it was.
the two guys that played the Step Brothers in the movie Step Brothers.
Yeah.
And then
Coming back for Holmes and Watson.
I'm not sure how I feel about them playing those roles, but
yeah,
who knows?
I went and saw Bohemian Rhapsody, and I was watching this trailer. I was like, "Oh, this seems like a pretty funny movie."
Do you
Strowman
even know who
popped up.
who the group Queen
Yes,
is?
I know who Queen are. I love Queen. They're amazing.
Name two of their songs.
Bohemian Rhapsody, Don't Stop Me Now, Under Pressure.
Thought I had him for a second there.
Make the rock and roll go round.
They do.
Bicycle. That's one of my favorite songs.
Bicycle Race, yeah.
yeah.
Bicycle. Yeah, I always like that.
Stone Cold
Crazy Little Thing.
Crazy Little Thing Called Love.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff back then, I'll tell you. Yeah. Platinum Collection. Great.
Greatest Hits Volumes 1, 2, and 3.
So, yeah. Honestly, guys, I believe that we are just going to go ahead and wrap it up because we're not going to sit here and have you guys sitting there staring at us for 15 minutes while we try to scrounge for stuff.
Oh, we try to entertain you desperately. I'm sorry.
Try being the key word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those that normally I'd be like, man, this sucks because I don't like leaving people hanging. I don't like also making a short episode. But reality of it all, it was not an eventful week for the wrestling world. But with all these upcoming
Note
shows...
to WWE, if Raw was better, we'd have more to talk about.
I say, but not to discredit all these local shows that are coming up. Go for it. I mean, you are the local guy. This is your caveat.
Well, we saw 2 PWA debuts out of St. Louis. I believe Michael Elgin's training academy. We saw Corey Roberts debut against also debuting Austin Hayes. Corey Roberts got the win over that. Then we opened the show. Attitude Inc., the tag team champions, came out again spouting about how they're the most decorated team in all of Central Illinois history, only to be interrupted by the oversized model who's wearing a shirt that is far too small, accompanied by the guy who thinks his name is Big Sexy with an actual full body mirror that he carried with him as well.
That was pretty.
And then they tried to spout how they are the superior team because they are sexier. And then Sweet Street, IJ Sweet and Johnny Kincaid had enough of that bull crap and rushed the ring, and we had a triple threat tag. Attitude Inc. retained the titles, of course.
Again, triple threats. I'm telling you, man. Triple threats.
Triple threat tag.
Still, triple threat.
Teddy Long was there.
I bet he was. I would not be surprised if they booked Teddy Long to
You
be
might
the
know
one to
him
make
better
those
as
decisions.
former President Archie. Anyway, so...
Good play, good play.
Next up, we saw Handsome Dan Liplock come out to the ring and issue an open challenge. That didn't go very well for him a couple months ago as Truck Thompson answered that open challenge. And it didn't go very well for him this month because Scotty Cash answered the open challenge.
The returning Scotty Cash.
And whooped the hell out of him. And apparently, I guess the crowd forgives him for beating Benz and everything. And I guess Scotty has that new mindset coming back as well. I just want to win matches. So yeah, I mean, Scotty beat the hell out of Dan Liplock. And then we saw the main attraction. Not Casey Jackson, but Michael Elgin, former Ring of Honor champion, former NJPW Intercontinental champion, or IWGP Intercontinental champion, I should say, and a former Never Openweight champion, take on Jimmy Carrot. And very shockingly, Jimmy Carrot got the win, and Michael Elgin gave him props afterward. Michael Elgin said, "Hey, I was supposed to face Lander, card subject to change. Whatever. I was told I'm facing a guy I've never heard of, and it was one of the most impressive matches I've had in a while."
Yeah.
So, props to Jimmy Carrot, pushing Elgin to the limit there.
To the limit.
Yes, indeed.
It was
Also, we saw women's action. Harley defeating Sophie King, the debuting Sophie King. Also, we had a fatal 5-way matchup, elimination style. We saw Casey Jackson get the victory. First pin came when Brian Ely was eliminated. I can't remember by who. And then we had, it was Ely, Hatta, Analog, Casey.
And Ryan McGuire.
Oh, no, wait. It was only a 4-way.
Sorry.
He's young. Figure it out.
Hey, I haven't been on this in a few weeks, so, you know.
Neither of the other three.
Yes. Well, you don't have to remember all the results. They're all written there for you.
That's not really showing results there, buddy. That's just showing topics.
That's
That's
okay. We didn't have to go over results. I have to remember all these results. But no, Brian Ely was the first eliminated, and then Casey Jackson was actually in a bit of trouble as Hatta and Victor Analog kind of said, "Hey, let's team up. We're kind of liking this. I really like this team that we've got going on here." They start beating up Casey Jackson. And, you know, who else but Attitude Inc. to come out and beat the hell out of Hatta and Victor Analog and fist bump Casey Jackson, form some sort of alliance. Yes?
Yeah, keep going.
Form some sort of alliance between Hatta, or not Hatta, but Casey Jackson and Attitude Inc.
Yeah.
Analog was eliminated.
That made me
Hatta
sad.
was eliminated. Casey wins the match. Coming in strong because he is the #1 contender to the regional heavyweight title.
Sure.
He's got that match coming up at some point with Jake Lander. You know, but we have to figure out when that's going to be.
Sure. And you never know.
You never do know. But then, we saw the main event.
The main event.
The main event of all main events. Career
The main event that
versus
made
career.
the analyst cry. The day the analyst
only day I've ever cried in any wrestling capacity whatsoever. Tom Arson defeated Derek Moss, and Derek Moss retired. Oh no. Oh no.
This is a reenactment of what happened that day. This was Rob.
It's unfortunate.
Just so you know.
I was very upset because that was my very first definitely favorite wrestler, especially on the indies. What's happening now?
Is it the microphone?
That's the microphone. We've added the microphone that way.
Now it looks more accurate.
That looks more like Rob.
There we go. I wasn't holding the mic. It looks like a pacifier. What are you doing?
I don't know what you're talking about. That's a microphone.
There's a puddle. A puddle.
I'll let you decide what the puddle is.
Don't shame me for crying because my favorite wrestler retired.
No, I'm just messing with you, man. It was a sad day to see Moss retire, but he retired on his own terms. He retired while being in the ring, and he retired with a lot of good reasons. I gotta respect the man for that.
Just like you told me, at least it was on his own terms.
That's right.
That's how every wrestler wants to go out.
Exactly. And, you know, I've been a big fan of Moss for a long time because I've seen the limitless potential he has, just like a few of the other talent. And it was one of those that when I first got back into wrestling, when I first started the Sleeper Hold and I came into doing stuff with PWA, Moss was one of the first guys that I got to know on a personal level and became really good friends with. So it was a bittersweet moment. And I mean, when I found out that he was going to be retiring, I mean, I quickly pulled him aside and said, look, I need to know what's the reason, what's the motivation, what's causing this decision. And when he told me and I realized that he is definitely going out on his own terms, I was very happy to hear that, and it gave me a lot more respect for all that was going on and for Moss.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, I knew, because he had pulled me aside, I think in September, and told me about it.
Yeah.
So I knew for a couple of months. Oh, here we go again.
Pacifier.
Good Lord. Well, no, I knew for a couple of months that it was happening, and I was astounded myself that it hit me so hard.
Yeah.
Because, like, I would even think about it like, wow, this is going to be sad, but I don't know how it's going to affect me, whatever.
Yeah. And that's how it usually goes. So when you get somebody that you're that close of a friend with and everything else, things like that will shake you up a little bit. Even if you know, hey, this is for the best, this is his terms, this is whatever, it's still a sad moment in the local community. But, you know, he's got now time to spend with his baby, with his girl. He's got time to focus on other goals that he's been wanting to focus on. So, I mean, like I said, it's good and it is bittersweet. So, I'm sure we'll still see him around, though, watching and being a fan at the ringside.
And you never know. He might come back for a match or two someday.
I mean, look at all the other people who've come back from retirement. You know.
Tom Arson, Benz, just to name a couple.
Oh, yeah. So, who knows? But, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to hold you any longer because we only got 5 minutes left, and I think that we've really wrapped up a lot of good stuff here. I'm just going to say, on behalf of yours truly, Priest, my guys here, it's been a pleasure. It's been great to be back. And on that note, I'm going to say goodbye, and I'm going to let them say goodbye, and then we're getting the heck out of here.
Everybody say bye.
Bye.
Bye.